Malaysia demands tougher action against Israel. 50 million ringgit financing for Indian entrepreneurs via Brief Eye. Salam Malaysia Madani, I'm SAHIH and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Malaysia demands the United States to take tougher action against Israel. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today said the disasters and suffering of the Palestinian people are caused by the stubbornness and arrogance of that unlawful regime. Commenting further on the matter, the Premier said Malaysia strongly supports the United States proposal to end the fighting in Gaza through a full ceasefire.
Meletakkan beberapa prinsip mencapai perdamaian segera yang agak lebih mantap di Israel Palestin dan khususnya untuk menghentikan serangan ganas ke atas Gaza. Kita juga bincang dalam musyawarah Jemaah Menteri dan memberikan sokongan kepada Mesir, Qatar dan Amerika Syarikat. Dan saya percaya ia lebih lunak berdasarkan apa yang saya pernah bincangkan dengan pimpinan Hamas.
On 31st May, US President Joe Biden announced a three-phase proposal for a full ceasefire in Gaza. It includes releasing prisoners from both sides, efforts towards ending hostilities permanently, and a plan for rebuilding Gaza. The government will assert its firm stance to uphold the nation's policy with social media platform provider X, formerly known as Twitter, which has reportedly changed its term to allow users to post pornographic content. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil, who is also the Unity Government spokesperson, says such actions clearly violate Malaysian laws and were unacceptable.
Saya percaya Datuk Ali daripada MCMC akan sampaikan untuk pastikan semua platform, bukan hanya X tapi semua platform faham bahawa beberapa perkara termasuk judi dalam talian, termasuk bahan-bahan lucah dan juga perkara-perkara yang tidak dibenarkan berdasarkan undang-undang negara kita dipatuhi oleh platform-platform ini, termasuklah yang sedang berlaku di X.
He said this in a post-cabinet meeting press conference today. It was reported that X has officially sanctioned the uploading of adult content with certain conditions. Malaysia Madani Jiwa Merdeka has been chosen as the theme of the National Day and Malaysia Day HKHM celebrations this year. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil also announced that the Cabinet agreed to retain last year's HKHM logo for this year's celebrations.
Logo dan sambutan memainkan peranan yang penting dalam menyuburkan semangat kebersamaan dalam menyambut Hari Kebangsaan dan Hari Malaysia. Sehubungan dengan itu, saya dengan sukacitanya mengumumkan pada tahun ini, Jemaah Menteri telah bersetuju untuk mengekalkan logo yang sama seperti tahun sebelumnya. Malaysia Madani Jiwa Merdeka pula telah dipilih sebagai tema sambutan Hari Kebangsaan Hari Malaysia 2024.
He said this at the announcement of the theme and logo of the 2024 HKHM celebrations in Putrajaya today. He said the theme was selected as it represents the holistic unity in a developing and progressive nation that encompasses a diverse, united and strong-spirited population. The National Month launching ceremony and Kibar Jalur Gemilang 2024 campaign will be launched next month on 31st July. The National Day Parade will be held on 31st August in Putrajaya, while the Malaysia Day celebrations 2024 will be held on 16 September in Sabah. The patron of Association of Wives of Civil Servant and Women Civil Servants, Puspanita, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said the association must take advantage of the technological advances, especially artificial intelligence AI, as well as local and global talents without borders. She said the society, which has turned 40 years old, must be ready to implement a transformation to play a more significant role in all aspects of national development.
Seperti mana yang digariskan dalam gagasan Malaysia pembangunan insan, bukan fizikal sahaja tetapi juga membangunkan insan. Setiap sumber yang digunakan mestilah mendatangkan tulangan yang berbaloi, bermanfaat kepada kumpulan sasar yang terlibat.
She said this while officiating the 42nd Puspanita General Meeting today. The General Meeting was attended by more than 700 participants across the country. At the event, Dato' Sri Dr. Wan Aziza also commended Puspanita's ability to develop various systems for internal use and always strive to make various improvements. A former minister's son, who is a freelance consultant, claimed trial at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today to a charge of accepting a bribe of 100,000 ringgit 6 years ago. Muhammad Faisal Hamzah, 40, son of opposition leader Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainuddin, was charged with accepting the bribe from Izmir Abdul Hamid as an inducement to use his influence to have High-Tech Padu Berhad appoint Syarikat Rimba Merpati and Syarikat Permai Solutions as its marketing consultants. Those companies were paid a commission of 700,000 ringgit after High-Tech Padu was awarded a 33 million ringgit worth of supply, rental, implementation, training, support and maintenance of security infrastructure tendered by the Companies Commission of Malaysia. The charge, framed under Section 16, Subsection A, Subsection A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Act 2009, carries a maximum jail term of 20 years and a fine of 10,000 ringgit, or 5 times the amount of the bribe, whichever is higher upon conviction. Judge Rosina Ayub allowed the accused bail of 25,000 ringgit in one surety and set 5th July for remention. She also ruled that the accused is blacklisted from travelling overseas. On 5th April last year, Muhammad Faisal and his business partner Azizul Abdul Halim were charged at the Seremban Sessions Court with 9 counts of submitting false documents over cooking oil subsidies. Users in 7 affected areas in the Klang Valley can expect water supply to their areas to be restored in stages starting at 3 a.m. tomorrow after asset maintenance and replacement work at the Sungai Selangor Phase 1 Water Treatment Plant SSP1 WTP was earlier completed. Pengurusan Air Selangor Sendirian Berhad, Air Selangor, in a post on Facebook said that the restoration of water supply in the affected areas is expected to reach around 20% at 3 p.m. tomorrow and up to 90% by 3 a.m. the following day. The post said full restoration of the water supply to the affected areas is expected at 12 noon that day, Friday, 7 June. Air Selangor, however, noted that the period of water supply disruption and subsequent recovery in the areas mentioned will depend on the location and water pressure at the distribution system. The State Water Company added that the asset maintenance and replacement work at the plant began at 9 a.m. today according to schedule. Coming up next, SMEs to raise capacity under new industrial master plan.
Suruhanjaya Integriti Agensi Penguatkuasaan mengendali aduan orang ramai dan menjalankan siasatan mengenai salah laku pegawai penguatkuasa dan agensi penguatkuasaan dengan tegas, telus dan efisien. Sila layari www.daic.gov.my.
Bank Rakyat has allocated 50 million ringgit via the Bank Rakyat Indian Entrepreneur Financing Brief program to assist the Indian entrepreneur community operating micro, small and medium enterprises MSMEs in terms of working capital and capital expenditure for business expansion. Deputy Entrepreneur Development and Cooperative Minister Datuk Ramanan Ramakrishnan said, Brief is a testament to Bank Rakyat's dedication to inclusivity as well as holistic and comprehensive socio-economic development for Malaysian communities since its establishment 70 years ago. He said the assistance for the Indian entrepreneur community will help to achieve the government's aspiration in eradicating hardcore poverty and bridging the economic gap for a prosperous Madani Malaysia.
Saya harap komuniti India mengambil peluang ini untuk mengambil pembiayaan ini untuk membangunkan perniagaan mereka dan memperkasakan ekonomi komuniti India. Permohonan dia ada dalam 3 cara. Satu, you boleh datang terus ke bank. Kita ada 10 negeri yang mempunyai Bank Rakyat yang di mana HQ dia ada di situ. Kedua melalui online dan ketiga melalui QR code. So permohonan dia senang. Tetapi yang lebih penting adalah tempoh kelulusan permohonan untuk program Brief I ini adalah 14 hari saja.
To be eligible, micro-enterprises must have been in operation for at least a year with satisfactory CTOS and Central Credit Reference Information System (CCRIS) records, while SME entrepreneurs must have been in operation for a minimum of 2 years, maintain satisfactory CTOS and CCRIS records and possess a positive net asset value. The new investment tax allowance or ITA will encourage existing small and medium enterprises (SMEs) that have exhausted their reinvestment allowance eligibility period to increase capacity and investment in high-value activities under the new Industrial Master Plan 2030. KPMG partner and head of indirect tax, Ng Su Lin, said while the full guidelines have yet to be issued, the eligible rate will be determined using an outcome-based approach. Elaborating further, in a release statement, she said SMEs can apply to the Malaysian Investment Development Authority (MIDA) from 1st January this year to 31st December 2028. Also, Ng said ahead of the anticipated e-invoicing requirement currently pending gazettement, SMEs can enjoy a special deduction of 50,000 ringgit per year of assessment YA from YA 2024 to YA 2027 to support its implementation. To stay updated with the latest taxation requirements, Ng suggests attending regular training sessions, workshops and seminars organised by the tax authorities. When equipped with the relevant knowledge, business owners can take the next step, such as educating staff and key stakeholders on the new requirements and regularly assess business operations to ensure compliance with the issuing and receipt of invoices. The second Asia Smart Farming and Food Security Conference and Exhibition is expected to strengthen global food safety and supply chains. The chairman of the Smart Agriculture 2024 Organising Committee, Dato' Syed Munshi Afzaruddin, said that the event showcases various types of technology that provide sustainable agricultural yields and contribute significantly to the economy.
We get all information to pass around globally, especially in the region, to make sure that more people who are interested in smart farming, integrated pest management concept will attend, so that not only they share with us here, we also share with them.
Dato' Syed Munshi further noted that the event will focus on agriculture with technology transfer, skills development and knowledge sharing from leading agricultural technology companies. Scheduled to take place from the 25th to 27th October at the Putrajaya International Convention Centre, PICC. This year, the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with international industry players is expected to take place to transform the agricultural sector in line with the National Agro-Food Policy 2021-2030 and AP 2.0. Malaysia recorded net foreign equity inflows exceeding 1 billion ringgit in May 2024, making it the only ASEAN country in the month to achieve this milestone. According to AM Investment Bank Berhad, the ASEAN region posted a net foreign equity outflow of 635 million ringgit compared to 8.8 billion ringgit in April 2024, leading to a year-to-date YTD outflow of 12.6 billion ringgit. The bank in a research note today said that last month, Indonesia registered net foreign outflows of 881 million ringgit, followed by Vietnam 613 million ringgit, Thailand 455 million ringgit and the Philippines 174 million ringgit. The bank said that with support from foreign institutional buying activities, which exceeded local selling, the FBM KLCI posted a YTD rise of positive 9.8% versus the Philippines' negative 0.3%, Indonesia's negative 4% and Thailand's negative 5%. However, towards the last week of May, foreigners switched back to net selling with 1.3 billion ringgit, partly cushioned by 1.1 billion ringgit of local institutional purchases. The Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry MITI has clarified that Jetronics Sdn Bhd is not a semiconductor manufacturer in Malaysia. In a statement today, MITI said Jetronics is a Malaysian company primarily engaged in wholesale trading of semiconductor and fabrication service. The ministry said Jetronics has been alleged to supply electronic components to Russian firms linked to the military-industrial complex and has recently been added to the United States unilateral sanction list. Malaysia enforces Strategic Trade Management (STM) through the Strategic Trade Act 2010 (STA 2010), which regulates the exports, transit, transshipments and brokering of strategic items, particularly those that could potentially be used for developing sophisticated military weapons. MITI also clarified that Malaysia adheres to multilateral sanctions and adopted a restricted or prohibited end-user list under the United Nations Security Council Resolutions UNSCR. CIMB Group Holdings Berhad, CIMB has appointed Novan Amiruddin as its Group Chief Executive Officer CEO effective 1st July this year following the departure of Dato' Abdul Rahman Ahmad on 30th June. In a release statement on Tuesday, CIMB said Novan is currently the co-CEO of Group Wholesale Banking GWB as well as the CEO of CIMB Investment Bank Berhad, wherein he is responsible for Group Corporate Banking, Group Investment Banking, Group Private Banking, Corporate and Public Sector coverage. It added under his leadership, CIMB has reclaimed its position as Malaysia's top investment bank by share of wallet and led the group's re-entry into the public equities business through the acquisition and relaunch of CIMB Securities. Novan, a chartered accountant, has more than 20 years of experience in banking and advisory across Malaysia, Indonesia and Singapore. British pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca has announced the completion of the acquisition of Fusion Pharmaceuticals. AstraZeneca, through a subsidiary, has completed the acquisition of all outstanding shares of Fusion as per the definitive agreement. When considering the upfront payment and the maximum potential contingent value payment, the transaction denotes a combined value of about $2.4 billion. Within the scope of transaction, AstraZeneca acquired the cash equivalents and short-term investments on Fusion balance sheet, comprising a total of $211 million as of 31st March. As a result of the acquisition, Fusion has become a wholly owned subsidiary of AstraZeneca with operations in Canada and the US. This acquisition complements AstraZeneca's oncology portfolio, which includes their most advanced program, a potential new treatment for patients with metastatic castration-resistant prostate cancer. Additionally, it reinforces AstraZeneca's presence in and commitment to Canada. Still ahead, Jokowi confident new presidential office will be ready by July. President Joko Widodo, also known as Jokowi, has expressed confidence in commencing work at the new office in Nusantara, Indonesia's new capital, in East Kalimantan province in July. He has called for more investment in a project to build the nation's new capital as the government plans to begin relocating the following month. In a statement released by the Public Relations, Media and Information Bureau of Presidential Secretariat on Wednesday, Jokowi said that while the office completion is imminent, the only remaining requirement is the installation of water supply. During his working visit to the province since Tuesday, he observed that the development progress of several first-phase infrastructures in Nusantara is about 80%. Jokowi also inspected the site for the first ever 79 Independence Day celebration of the Republic, which will take place on 17 August, and mentioned that all preparations and venues are nearly completed. An official from the Ministry of Public Works and People's Housing, Diana Kusumastuti, stated that the construction of the Presidential Palace in Nusantara is proceeding as planned for completion in July. She added the interior should be ready by late July so that the palace is set to be inaugurated on 17 August, coinciding with Indonesia's Independence Day. Thailand's most wanted fugitive, Chawalit Tongduang, is expected to be transferred to Bang Kwan Central Prison today after his extradition from Indonesia late Tuesday evening. Commander of Region 8 Police, Police Lieutenant General Surapong Tamrojit, said Chawalit 37 was captured by Indonesian police in Bali last Thursday morning after 7 months on the run. Surapong said the Indonesian officials coordinated with Interpol and the Assistant Ambassador of Indonesia to Thailand for the handover. Surapong added that a team of armed police commandos from the Crime Suppression Division escorted Chawalit from Nakhon Si Thammarat Airport to the Bang Kwan Central Prison in Nonthaburi, Bangkok Wednesday morning. Also known as Siapeng Nanot, Chawalit was held in the detention cell at Nakhon Si Thammarat City Police Station Tuesday evening. According to Thai media, Chawalit was serving time for attempted murder and was facing multiple other criminal charges, including murder and firearm possession, before he fled from Maharaj Nakhon Si Thammarat Hospital after being taken there for dental treatment on 22nd October last year. Despite a massive manhunt, he managed to evade capture and later was believed to have left Thailand in a speedboat from Satun. Coming up in sports, Pangon remains hopeful in Bishkek. Stay with us.
Kelayakan Piala Dunia 2026 dan Piala Asia 2027, amukan Harimau Melaya terus diledakkan dalam memburu peluang untuk terus mara bagi mendominasi kumpulan D. Khamis 6 Jun, siaran langsung Kyrgyzstan bertemu Malaysia 10.30 malam di saluran OK dan saluran sukan RTM. Saksikan juga secara penstriman langsung di RTM Glee.
Kim Pangon is facing one of his toughest moments with Harimau Malaya as he deals with a crisis of injuries to key players ahead of the remaining two crucial matches in Group D of the second round of the 2026 World Cup 2027 Asian Cup qualifiers this month. Coincidentally or not, the injury crisis that sees the 55-year-old South Korean coach losing 6 players come as the national team face a must-win mission against the world's 100-ranked team Kyrgyzstan at Dolan Ormozakov Stadium in Bishkek tomorrow night. Although there are doubts about the capability of the national team's front line, Pangon said with effective play by the midfield and defence in helping create dangerous move, could subsequently break through Kyrgyzstan goal.
I believe our team and all the players are fully confident. So I'm looking forward to see a good game tomorrow to give a good result to the Malaysian team.
Speaking in Bishkek, he said the national team's strength this time lies in the midfield as the national coach managed to gather his preferred experienced players such as Paulo Josu, Enric Dos Santos, Mohamed Shamir Kutiaba, Stuart Wilkin and Brendan Gunn to support the front line. After the match against Kyrgyzstan, Malaysia will then conclude the group stage by hosting the world's 159th ranked team, Taiwan, at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium on 11th June. Qualifying for the third round of World Cup qualifiers will secure Malaysia's spot in the 2027 Asian Cup early. Malaysia's rising star Leong Jung Hao pulled off a giant killing act to register a monumental moment in his career by beating home favourite and reigning All-England champion Jonathan Christie of Indonesia 21-13, 16-21, 21-12 in the first round of the 2024 Indonesia Open today. World number 32 Jun Hao, who was promoted from the reserve list and was making his debut in a World Tour Super 1000 competition, fought brilliantly to pull off a superb victory in the 62 minutes at the Istora Senayan in Jakarta. This was the first meeting between the two players. It was the 24-year-old biggest win in his career, so far coming just a week after he toppled Jonathan's teammate Anthony Ginting in the second round of the Singapore Open. He toppled Ginting of Indonesia 21-14, 10-21, 21-8 to march into the quarterfinals. Carlos Alcaraz saw Stefanos Tsitsipas in straight sets on Tuesday to set up a mouth-watering French Open semi-final clash with incoming world number 1 Jannik Sinner. The Spaniard proved to be too strong for former Roland Garros runner-up Tsitsipas, powering to a 6-3, 7-6, 6-4 victory on court Philippe Chatrier. Alcaraz started quickly in front of an expectant crowd, racing through the first set in just half an hour as Tsitsipas struggled to contain his opponent. An underwhelming contest looked on the cards when the third seed forged 4-1 ahead in the second, although Tsitsipas fought back to force a tiebreak. The Greek was always on the back foot, though, and Alcaraz upped his level again to take the breaker. Tsitsipas' hope dissipated with a double fault to give up a break of serve in the 7th game of the third set. Alcaraz made no mistake in closing it out, sealing victory with a drop shot winner. Alcaraz is bidding to become the youngest man in history to win Grand Slam tournament on hard, grass and clay courts after his Wimbledon triumph and 2022 US Open title. Earlier, Sinner stepped up his bid for his second Grand Slam title by securing a 6-2, 6-4, 7-6 victory over Grigor Dimitrov minutes after it was confirmed he would be the new world number 1 regardless of who wins the French Open. The news came as defending champion Novak Djokovic pulled out with a knee injury before his quarter-final match. Sinner tested Dimitrov's backhand early in the contest, and the lanky 22-year-old got a double break over his 10th-seeded opponent en route to take the opening set without getting out of second gear. A shearing cross-court forehand winner set up breakpoint at the start of the next, and Sinner held firm to edge ahead before shrugging off a back twinge to extend his dominance and lay the platform for a 33rd victory of a near-flawless season. World number 10 Dimitrov battled on bravely in the third set and forced a tie-break where a clinical Sinner wrapped up the match with no trouble. In the women's draw, American Coco Gauff beat Tunisia's Ons Jabeur 4-6, 6-2, 6-3 on Tuesday to become the first player to reach the French Open semi-finals. Gauff will meet top seed Iga Swiatek, who ended her French Open hopes in the 2022 final and 2023 quarterfinals. After a nervous start, the American grew in confidence in the second set and stamped her authority in the third to reach the semis for the second time. Jabeur, meanwhile, began to fade in the final set, and although she saved 2 match points, she could not cut out her unforced errors, and Gauff sealed victory on serve when the Tunisians' overhead went wide. That's it from us this evening. In our top story, Malaysia demands tougher action against Israel. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.